G'day punters, welcome to the Mailbag. We have a new sport that we're bringing on board the Mailbag, and pretty excited to announce that the Mailbag is welcoming Nathan Bush onto the team, and we're going to cover a little bit of lawn bowls action. The BPL, the Bowls Premier League, is starting in Australia and will be broadcast live on FOX Sports. And nothing's worth watching unless you can bet on it. So what better way to watch bowls and betting on it? I'll introduce Nathan Bush. Now, I'll just go through a few things about Bushy, our Bushy, friend of the show, friend of the Mailbag. Bushy is a 3-time state lawn bowls champion and has 90 caps representing Victoria in the lawn bowls. Representing the state there. So you're not just like a bowling club member that plays the pokies and drinks them $1.27 ounce glasses, Bushy. You have a role. Welcome to the Mailbag, mate. Great to have you on board.
Thanks, Curly. No, thanks for having me on board. And I know a little bit of information coming on to next week, and it's good to have bowls back, especially in these times.
So this, I might get you just to give us a little bit of like an overview of this tournament. This is the BPL. So let's just call it as like the big bash of lawn bowls, if you like.
It really is. The actual format itself, the BPL it's made up of teams of 3. So it's actually played in pairs. There's 2 males and 1 female representing each team. And it's actually 3 bowl pairs. And I suppose what makes it different to a normal game of 3 bowl pairs is that there's a power play. So on one particular end, each team will have a power play, and the actual shots is worth double. So it's sort of like your tab multiplier. You only get 1 crack at it, and it really does differentiate a winner or a loss, to be honest.
Love it. So now you're obviously not playing in this tournament. I can't imagine that.
Curly, I'm not good enough. It's just as simple as that.
Righto. So what sort of caliber of player are we talking about here that would be participating in this tournament next week?
Oh, look, we've got the best of the best here. We've got an international flavour as well, and I know that's it sounds odd with the COVID climate, but a lot of international players actually call Australia home to play bowls or professionally play bowls. So we've got a lot of players that are coming from the Gold Coast and New South Wales. Just to mention a few, Australia's own Aaron Sheriff, I regard him as one of the best in the world. We've got Northern Ireland representatives, Gary Kelly, and also Jezza. And then we've got the Canadian, Ryan Bester, who will there could be some odds given about if you'll put a jack over the fence, because when he lets one rip, they fly, mate.
Right. Okay. Well, now I think we're going to call this segment the Backhopper with Bushy going forward, I think we'll call the product the Backhopper. Now, can you just explain what the Backhopper means?
Yeah, I like it. So the Backhopper, look, if you're skipping, Curly, even in your barefoot bowls, just call for your lead to give you a Backhopper. And what it means is that the jack's there and the actual bowl sits right behind it. So virtually impossible for the opposition to score. So that's why we'll call it the Backhopper.
So if you can deliver a Backhopper, we'll be winning, basically. So it's well known.
Yeah, it's sort of like there's a bit of cut in the track, and the jockey cuts the inside and then gets to the outside.
Yeah,
produces the peach.
Gotcha.
One of them.
Yeah, I know. I hope we get a few of those that day. Okay, so I was going to go with like Jack High or Wrong Bias, but obviously Wrong Bias that'd be a negative sort of thing. So I'm happy with the Backhopper. So this tournament starts next week. So you'll be previewing each game that's going to be live that night. So the punters at home can follow your mail and have a bet and then watch it on Fox. That's the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's actually, I think there's 4 or 5 rounds that go during the day. They're not telecast, but there's a night session that every team will play during the night. And I think the time slots are roughly around 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night, so it's going to be perfect. And I personally like to dissect the TV games because there's a little bit more of added pressure, so you're able to separate some players and some teams with that.
Righto. I might get you to give us a quick overview of the teams. I've gone through the team list here. I don't know the players, but I think I'm going to be a supporter of the Murray Steamers purely because of their name. I reckon that's super. But I don't know. Look, I'll let you be a little bit serious here. You know the teams, you know the players. You obviously know their strengths and weaknesses you would have played against or with some of those people, I'd imagine. The Adelaide Pioneers.
Yeah, I suppose I'll go with the teams that I fancy first up, and
Yeah,
I
right.
suppose why. I'm going to go with the Ospreys. Do you know what an Osprey is, Curly?
I think it's something when you're leaning over the fence yelling at a jockey, you give him an osprey.
Very good. Yeah, very good. It's actually a bird, but I'll go with your one there.
They're the tweed heads.
What we're looking for. Hey?
Tweed heads.
Yes, tweed heads.
Yeah, gotcha.
Tweed heads.
Yep.
So I suppose what I'm looking for here is just that experience and horses for courses. So the event's been played here before. I'm looking for the teams that have performed well on the particular surface. If we actually have a look at the track or the carpet we're playing on, it's a little bit different. So it has got a few demons in it, and players will be using the wide set of bowls on this particular surface. Oh, look, you want something with a bit more arc in it, so something that's going to turn a lot more than your usual set of bowls.
Right.
With these sort of carpets, they tend to, every rink will play a little bit different, but if you're using a tighter bowl, they just won't turn back for you. So you'll see a lot of players with a wider set of bowls that you just know they're just going to turn. And I think also probably this surface is a little bit different to Pine Rivers because the skippers will be able to play their swingers with a little bit more efficiency, I would say. And it's a little bit easier and a kinder surface, I'd say, than Pine Rivers. So skippers can win the game on their own. So in talking about that, I'm looking for, once again, experience and an even balance. So you're not relying on one particular player. Also, Curly, in this particular game, there's a leader and a skipper. So players playing in their suited roles, that's a big tick. And probably the one for you, Curly, is there's a bit of Hollywood factor, just that X factor where a player produces under pressure and in clutch situations will produce.
Yeah, a bit like me, like playing footy, like I just sit in the forward pocket and just pop up and kick 5 or something when the cameras are on that sort of play. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, sort of separate to the cherry pickers, you know.
Yeah. I like it. So, tweed heads.
When I talk about that, I'm actually picking 3 teams, Curly. I think I'm going Tweed Ospreys as the favourite. Yep. Look, they tick all the boxes. They've actually made a minor change in their team, and they've actually brought in the inclusion of Wetlock. And look, that's only a positive because you'll find that Tees and also Corey Wedlock play in the same team, and I think that's huge in terms of combinations. And also, I think they've probably got. I reckon they got the top 2 female in their team as well. And she's actually from Tweed Heads, and Chloe Stewart can play. So I think they'll be favourites. So look out for them. And the other 2 teams that I like Sydney. They've won it previously. They've actually won it previously a number of times. I just think I hope they get the tactics a little bit better this time. I personally want to see Aaron Sheriff, who I think is the best player in the world. I want to see him up the other end. I want to see him skipping. I want to see him with the last bowl. So that's going to be big. Yep. And the last team is the Melbourne Pulse. Look, I know there's a little bit of an injury cloud under Barry Lester with a sore back, but I think Alan Ryan, who is the female bowler, I think she's the best there, and I really rate her. And you got Big Jizza, Kelly, and I just think he's a freak.
Yep.
You watch him, Curly. He is a big-time player.
What's his name? Gary Kelly.
That's the one. Gazza.
Do they have like a Brownlow medal of the tournament?
Great call. Yeah, they do have an MVP. I'm not sure if Gaz has won it before.
hopefully we can bet
But
on.
they won't have a market for it. But he's a very good player. He loves the. I suppose if you're talking about cricket terms, trying to make a correlation there, he's sort of like your Maxwell.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, does it all.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of flair anyway on the rink. Is that what you call it? Rink? No.
Yes, on the rink. Yeah, well done, Curly.
So there's an opportunity for a bit of flair. Is there a few fellas that might flare up a bit just because it's on TV?
Yeah, absolutely.
For a bit of entertainment?
Absolutely. And also, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
The players that get comfortable on the rink and get a bit of confidence, I think it all goes well for their team. So you got Barry Lester, who plays for the Melbourne Pulse. He loves the cameras and he loves producing on the big stage.
Excellent.
Look, I think also Michael Walker from the Murray Steamers. He pretends that he doesn't like the big stage, but he loves it. He loves it. He'll spend a bit of time in front of the mirrors. But no, there's a number of players that will put on a bit of a show too.
Excellent. Well, I mean, we're going to get a bit of entertainment on the rink and we get to bet on it as well. So, it's just the perfect combination, really. Tournament starts first game. Bushy, what's the first game that we could bet on for the Mailbag subscribers here?
I've picked out 2 games on Tuesday night. So, Tuesday the 23rd, I've picked Perth Suns as my first better. Look, I think they'll win against Brisbane. Nothing against Brisbane, but they have 2 inexperienced players, and this will be the first time on TV playing. So I've picked an experienced Perth Suns to get the job done against Brisbane as game 1.
All right. Well, what we'll do now, what we can do going forward is this info will be given out match day. Obviously, need some time to have a look at the markets and that sort of thing, and try and identify some bets.
Yep.
So we'll get these pushed out. Now this is a free service and an introduction to the lawn bowls sport and the wagering on it. How sick. So all you need to do is sign up to the Mailbag, download the app, turn your notifications on, and you'll get the Backhopper, courtesy of Nathan Bush, with some staking and betting suggestions while we're watching the lawn bowls. It's
just on that, Curly. I think what Bowls Australia have done the last couple of years, we've been able to, I suppose, focus in on one team and go pretty hard against. But this year it's very even. Perth Suns have picked up a couple of players, and for instance, night 1 on those games, I know I've given out 1 game there, but I'll be looking at the market and seeing if there is any over the price odds of our teams, because as I said, this format, anything can happen, and particularly on that one end on the power play, it's just so particular. So we'll have a look at the odds when they come available and go from there.
Love it, Bushy. So this will be kicking off Tuesday next week. So I've never said this before, but I'm looking forward to the bowls tournament kicking off. It's going to be good fun. Looking forward to your input. Thanks very much for your time today. I think you've given us a really good overview of what this looks like, and just your analysis there when you're talking about where this tournament was held last year and compared to the carpet this year, and the differences there is interesting. So hopefully we can turn that into a profit while we're enjoying it. So again, thanks for your time, Bushy. Looking forward to kicking off the Backhopper with you next week.
Thanks very much, Curly, and it's just great to get bowls, and I'm here to a bit more exposure to the sport, and if we can make a profit along the way, what better?
Fantastic. Thanks again, Bushy. Talk to you
Shirley.
Tuesday.